Hey everyone, Fox with Foxio Games, coming at you with another Dark Souls PvP video. This is from the Xbox 360 version, and noticing a definite difference between PC and the consoles. There is a heck of a lot more PvP on the consoles at the moment, and it looks like the PC just might not be catching up. On my previous PvP videos, I kind of just put them to music and added some sound effects here and there, and just tried to spice them up, but it was mainly a visual thing. There wasn't a whole lot of anything else going on other than just watching and listening to it. This time, I want to give you some commentary and talk about a few issues that are coming up in the PvP community and have been present for a long time. And these are new issues for PC players who just started the game. One of the biggest issues I face and I come up to is whenever I win a battle with someone, particularly if it was one-on-one, but anytime, there is almost inevitably some sort of complaint that comes my way, or complaints being made online on YouTube videos or in the forums. And these complaints usually center around this idea of honor duels or honor in PvP, or certain aspects of combat they claim is akin to cheating. For example, the biggest example that comes up all the time are backstabs. So let's talk about backstabs. You'll notice here I'm just playing around with the spear. This is my first spear build. Never really used a spear before other than a little bit in PvP, or I'm sorry, in PvE. So I'm getting used to the spear, getting accustomed to it. Not worried about getting parried. It happened a few times, but not worried about it. Just kind of getting the distance and timing on the weapon as I learn how to use it. But concerning backstabs, this is my take on backstabs. Yours could be completely different, but the fact of the matter is not everyone feels the same way. And one thing I want to encourage the community is to stop judging everyone else by your own personal standard, because there is no set standard that everyone's going to follow other than the rules of the game. I think we can all agree that if you use any sort of cheats, separate programs to gain an unfair advantage, sure, that's cheating, that's unfair. But even if you use a cheat, it's not necessarily unfair. If you cheat to build a character that is completely 100% natural, I don't consider that unfair. I mean, you gotta admit what you're doing, but it's not necessarily giving you an advantage. Now, in terms of the backstabbing, I think the biggest problem with backstabs comes from the lag on the consoles, particularly on the consoles, both the PS3 and the Xbox 360, is that you will seem to get dragged into a backstab. You'll be flipping around, or you'll be running, or you'll be moving, and all of a sudden your character will jerk on the screen. Instantly you'll seem to get sucked into the front of the enemy and they'll backstab you. And it'll feel completely unfair. It'll look like they somehow cheated or hacked. But guys, the honest truth is, when you backstab someone, it may look like that to them. On your screen, what you're seeing is not necessarily what your opponent is seeing. So when your opponent backstabs you, on their screen, it was a legitimate backstab most of the time. On your screen, it may not have looked legitimate. That's why people complain so much. Secondly, the second reason people complain so much is the fact that backstabs do so much damage, particularly with the Hornet Ring. Yes, I agree with the Hornet Ring nerf that came in the PC version, as well as the Dark Woodgrain Ring nerf. I think they're great. I think they bring more balance. But these are legitimate playstyles. If you're going to criticize someone for using one particular ring, why can't they criticize you for using a ring? People criticize you for using the Hornet Ring, but nobody mentions the Leo Ring. People criticize you for using the Dark Woodgrain Ring, but no one seems to have a problem with putting on the Havel's Ring and wearing much heavier armor. Yes, I agree that we shouldn't have, tank characters flipping around like ninjas, but it's a legitimate part of the game until From Software chooses to change it. So to call someone a cheater because of that, take a look at this, what happens here. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to break from my commentary for a second. Watch what happens on my screen. And I could have really gotten ticked off about it. What just happened? How in the heck did I just die? Did you see anything hit me? Well, what had happened was the game had lagged out in such a way I didn't notice, or I wasn't able to notice, that he actually had cast another homing crystal soul mask. That's what hit me, but on my screen it didn't show. No, he didn't hack, he didn't cheat. It was lag. It was built-in problems with what people refer to as the net coding of the game. Here's an unfortunate situation where it looked like I was doing fairly well, dodging, and then boom, right off the cliff. That sucks, but it happens. Back to these elements of the game that people refer to as cheating. Backstabbing is not cheating, guys. Chain backstabbing is not cheating. There are counter tricks to get away from these things. You can counter these things. You can avoid these things. Wrath of the Gods spamming is not cheating. Great Combustion spamming is not cheating. The reason people moan and whine and complain so much is because you're getting killed by it. Let's be honest. The reason you complain is because you're getting killed. I'm with everyone else. If all you do is backstab fish, sure, I don't like that. It's legitimate, but I don't like it because I think it's a cheap tactic. I think it kind of spoils the fun of the game if you just rely on one thing. I like variety. But is it cheating? No. Is it breaking some code of honor or standards? Not necessarily. It depends on what that person's code is. If you get together with another guy and you both agree to have an honor duel, and you set standards, and someone violates it, sure, they violated it. But if you just randomly encounter somebody in an invasion, and they don't follow your particular set of honor standards, that's not their problem. It's yours. You didn't feel that they followed some invisible, unwritten, unspoken set of standards that you think they should follow. Secondly, a lot of people have accused me of trying to backstab fish, and you'll notice it right here where I kind of move around to the side. I circle right. See what I did right there? I attacked him at his side. I break lock on to do it sometimes. I break lock on in a moment here, and I completely failed at it. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to hit them at dead angles right here. See, I'm trying to, and it's totally missed. Total whiff. But I'm trying not to hit them dead on. See, on my screen, that didn't hit me. That attack right there, but on his screen it probably did. So we have to be willing to be accommodating to the game's flaws. Backstabbing is not cheating. There is no set code of honor, and as long as someone is not legitimately cheating, actually using hacks to gain an unfair advantage, there's really nothing to complain about. So if you're one of those guys that posts on my videos that complains and moans and gripes and whines about your personal code of ethics being violated in Dark Souls, get over it. And I know I'm going to get some thumbs down on this video, but that's life, and I'm not worried about it. Because everyone can see my playstyle. You either like it, or you don't. I'm Fox with Foxtail Games, and I will see you guys next time.